My name's Rob and I've been riding for 50 years. It's a Mike Hailwood Replica. It's a 864cc bike. It's the same, basically the same engine as the 900 SS, 5-speed gearbox, Brembo brakes, and for the time, and you've got to think about it, it's got like twin discs at the front, they're ventilated, it's got a disc brake at the back. Most bikes in those days would have had a drum brake and perhaps only one disc at the front, solid disc. So the brakes were good. When I saw it advertised, I took my daughter down. She was on her way to water polo, and I thought, we'll call in, we'll have a look at this MHR that's been advertised. And I got down there and I looked all the way around it and what have you, and shook my head and got back onto the bike and down to Cronulla to drop my daughter off, and she said, "You're going to buy that bike, aren't you?" And I said, "Yes, probably." And she said, "Mum's not going to be happy." I said, "No, I don't think so." She said, "If you give me $2 a week, you can leave it down at your mum's place and we won't tell her." Anyway, so a week later I made an offer, and it was about 12, 14 years old when I bought it. It had done 4,000 kilometres. It's now done nearly 100,000 kilometres. It hasn't sat in a lounge room. It's not a lounge room lizard. It's been out on the roads. I've pushed it virtually in every state of Australia to get it started some days, but no, love it, love it. I call the bike Red Fury, but my wife calls it Barbie because it's got so many changes of clothes. It's actually about 3 bikes in one. I can have it, and as I bought it, it was original. It's actually a NCR fairing. They built the bikes for Hailwood and Jimmy Skaysbrook. His bike actually came back to Australia. It was one of Sports Motorbike's 3 entries in that particular class. It had been damaged. Skaysbrook threw it down the road, and duplicate fairings were made by Homebush fiberglass, as they were then. I went looking for an NCR fairing, and through word of mouth and what have you, I found that they'd had one out there. It took me hours to find it in amongst all the other old moulds, but we pulled it out, and I got him to do a couple of fairings for me. And it was actually from Skaysbrook's bike. So I was real happy. It does have a relationship actually with the Ola Man. I've got 2 different fuel tanks, like steel ones for the with the different stickers for it. I've got a fiberglass tank with the clear stripe through it, as Hailwood's bike had. But of course, with the unleaded fuel, it doesn't like the fiberglass, and so I don't usually run it these days. If I was going to show it, I could put it back on. But I've got the original fairing, of course, the rear seat. It's got a twin seat with a small bezel that comes off that allows it to convert from a single seat to a twin seat. Different mud guards, front and back. I've got about 3 of them. I've done the engine up, particularly the top end, converted it so it can use unleaded fuel, increase the coils so they put out a lot more power. They eat spark plugs a little bit more than normal, but at least it starts when it's only got a kick starter, so you got to have all the help you can. I'm a social rider. I do track days occasionally and things like that, but mainly just a social rider. I've ridden it virtually every year down to the superbikes and also the MotoGP, which is 1,000 kilometres from the front door here. And you do 1,000 kilometres on that in a day, and you know it. Sometimes you've got to be helped off it when you get to Phillip Island. It's not a comfortable bike, but it loves the open road. It's got a heap of torque. I've got the Imola high lift cams in it, so that probably it doesn't start performing until about 4,000 revs, but it will then rev out hard, probably to about 8.5 if you took it that far. I'd actually like to take the old girl across to the Isle of Man. I really would. I know there's a bloke in the Ducati Owners Club who's got a Condor, which is a Swiss Ducati. It was a military bike. It was made even with a gun rack down the side of it. He's done 4 laps, I think, of the Isle of Man on it, and I'm jealous of him. It was on I think his is about a 250 or something, but I'd just love to do a few laps on the Isle of Man on that. Even at my age, and like I'm nearly 73, you open the throttle on that thing, the noise it makes and the thrill, it is easy to get carried away. I enjoy the social aspects of motorcycling too, and there's always someone going to come up to you and talk to you about the Hailwood.